It's my bit, bro.
All right, welcome back to Manhattan's Voice.
What up, what up?
My name is Julian West, and I am here accompanied by...
David Gustavo Contreras.
Nicole Verda.
We got the full name this time, ladies and gentlemen.
Over here.
Yeah, let's get right into it. Let's go over our weeks.
You go first.
All right, fine.
This time, yeah.
Well...
Why don't go first?
Well... Anyway, I have had a pretty good week.
Let me guess, you worked? And then you worked.
I did work.
Did you
A
work?
common
I
theme.
worked.
I worked.
Yes, we all worked. I gotta reach over. There we
Making
go.
Chasing that bag, baby.
Yeah. We gotta do what we gotta do around here.
Working hard for the money.
Working hard.
That goes
So
nowhere.
hard for the money.
Yeah. Unfortunately, my film academy job is grinding to a close.
Oh, no.
My last day is next Tuesday. But cross my fingers. There is potential for future hire if they can keep me on for the fall, for when official students are in and it's not just a teen program.
None of that high schooler stuff.
Yeah. I mean, the high schools were great.
From what it sounded.
I met some really interesting kids, and interesting in the good and bad sense of the word, obviously. But
they're interesting.
Yeah, but it was a great time. It was good to see them enjoy more exposure to the filmmaking field, even if that's not what they want to get into for their career. Nikki's dying over there.
I was trying to hold in this cough, but I thought it was gonna go away, and then it didn't go away.
But yeah, it's been great to see.
Yeah, right on, dude.
Still pursuing artistic things,
all good things must come to an end.
Wait, did you didn't go on the...
No.
You didn't go on the photo shoot. So last
shoot,
episode, he said that he was going to go on the photo shoot, but he didn't go.
Oh, yeah.
It got canceled because the person I was shooting with, their schedule ended up changing for that day.
That's show business,
They were out late. Yeah, I mean, it's understandable. This has been, as we've said before, this has been a very busy summer for everyone. So I totally understand.
Yeah, for all of us, for sure.
For all of us.
But she goes to school in the city as well. So
Where?
We can handle it during the school year. She goes to Pace.
Oh,
so
okay.
Downtown, but I can handle it.
We're that Midtown crew, baby.
But yeah, Midtown gang. But yeah, I mean, working at Res Life as well.
Yeah. On to bigger and better things for you.
Yeah. Fall 2019, here I come.
All right. So what about you?
Mostly just work. Work. Being that sneaker plug, baby.
Wow, we literally created this podcast to see the diversity
Yeah.
of students and
we just work
I went
in
to work.
different parts.
He
yeah.
works, he works, I work, we all work. You probably guys are at work, maybe.
I mean, we celebrated my father's birthday, so.
Oh
happy
yeah,
birthday,
it was
George.
the same day as Aaron's right?
birthday, yes.
Yeah, so happy birthday, father.
Papa
Happy birthday,
Contreras.
Dad.
Thank you for birthing me.
I mean, he didn't do it.
He did birth you.
He had a role in it.
Happy birthday
was
to
there.
Mrs. Contreras, because she was the one.
Her birthday's in
Yeah.
October, so I'll shout her out.
Okay. Yeah, so
There are
that
a lot
besides
of
work, that's
October birthdays.
Yeah, we're
I
supposed to be
have
going
lot
to a
of those
Jets
birthdays.
game and Giants game tomorrow, but that's looking like it's
Ooh.
getting
it's
rained
Jets
out.
and
Yeah, because it's the
Giants.
rain.
Jets Giants, bro. Yeah, man. Go gang green, but yeah,
Oh.
I
with this
hate
rain,
the
I'm kind of
rain.
worried about it. Yeah, that's the thing. If it's not, that's gonna suck sitting in the rain. But
Yeah.
go Jets. So it's whatever. Gang
I don't
green.
know about that.
Jets, Jets.
I don't know about that.
Okay.
So Nikki, how has your week been?
Work. Last week of work
No.
because yeah,
What?
unfortunately.
Wait, last week of work?
Yeah, well, not really officially last week because I'm going
Oh,
away.
so you're leaving your job.
So today, since our podcast comes out a week later, so today's August 7th. If you guys didn't know, now you guys know.
Don't tell them our schedule.
Sorry. So yes, tomorrow I was supposed to fly out, but this lovely rain. I love you, rain.
Why?
Listen, I love
Why?
No, I hate the rain.
I don't like the rain. It's
I
ruined
am
all
so
of our
negative
moods,
with
I'm sure.
weathers. But I was supposed to fly out tomorrow, but now it got pushed to
God
Friday.
bless. But at the same time, would you want to fly in the rain, bro? Have you
Well-
ever
Oh,
flown?
wait, actually-
flown
I
through a
was gonna
storm,
call
man?
up the pilot from United Airlines and be like, "Why don't you want to
Listen,
fly?"
man. Whether or not you want to, we're taking off.
Yeah, yo,
But,
I'm leaving without you.
I'll take this puppy off myself if I have to.
You didn't
Just
tell
give me the
me.
keys.
You didn't tell me it was moved to Friday.
No, I was on the phone for literally 55 minutes.
We heard her waiting music for a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah.
That's hysterical.
Yeah, so when you went to get coffee, then I got on the phone, and then I didn't have to pay anything, so I rescheduled it for the next available flight, and the next available flight is literally Friday, not even Thursday Well, yeah, not even Thursday. There's no film.
But I knew that they weren't just gonna drop you after you paid for
I would have
ticket.
dropped them.
Yeah, sorry, you're not going.
No. I didn't
Yeah,
have to pay
no.
anything. It was just rescheduled. Now
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the email for like the confirmation and stuff like that. So that probably takes a little while, and kind of worried that I haven't gotten it yet, even though it's been like 30 minutes.
That takes a while to process.
Oh, really?
so.
Okay.
Never
Never mind.
Yeah, she
I'm
was
not
like, oh, I
worried.
haven't gotten it yet. I
not-
haven't gotten it yet.
Because
Shut
they
up.
also have to, because if that flight is scheduled for Friday, most of those seats have probably already
Yeah, I'm not gonna get my
been
fee.
processed.
Yeah,
So
I'm not gonna get my fee.
the
I'm not
fact
gonna get my
that-
seat
The
until
fact
I get there.
that the fact that they're like adding more people to the flight just adds more like complications to it. So if you spoke to like a representative and they were like, yeah, you're scheduled for Friday, then
So
you'll
wait,
get
hold on.
something.
Just a quick question. Sorry, but I bought the ticket where it's like you carry on and then you get to like pay $30 for
like an additional bag.
Yeah. So like I feel that's not gonna like matter, right? Like I could still
No,
bring it out.
I-
Okay.
You're paid
if
for
you're-
it.
if
Yeah,
you're-
no, it's
Sorry,
okay.
sorry, guys. You know, just unsure. So yeah, besides that, I wasn't too upset because I don't really want to have that just throw me off completely. But I was like, you know, it happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Obviously, not gonna fly in the air. Blah blah blah. Whatever. So it's fine. What else? I literally worked. Didn't really do anything this weekend. What was I doing with my cousins? Like I'm always with my
Bit of a
cousins.
slow one for all of us this
Yeah,
week.
it was. It's-
Well deserved. Well deserved.
Yeah. But anyways, now we're here together.
Recording once again.
So guys, if you have been tuning in, basically this is Manhattan's Voice. We are Manhattan's Voice, and you are Manhattan's Voice too. whoever it
Hashtag
is.
I am Manhattan's voice.
Aha.
So, anyways.
Wait, we just pointed, but like people who are listening will not see
Okay,
that we're pointing.
so we
you just hear
the awkward
clothes moving.
the awkward silence was us pointing to a sign that we have in our lovely studio-ish room
In
that
HQ.
says hashtag I am Manhattan's Voice.
Yes.
If you guys wanted to know, now you guys know. Blah blah blah. So I'm Nicole.
Manhattan's Voice _pod.
Yeah,
That was
on
definitely an
Instagram.
awkward pause of just like my jacket going like,
Yeah, literally. That's why I'm like, oh, with my eyes closed, that didn't sound like we're doing anything.
I
It's
wonder
like,
what's happening.
my
We just
phone
adjusted
stop?
ourselves. Yeah.
No, but this is Manhattan's
Something I
Voice.
forgot to edit out, and they're like shuffling the seats.
It's a spin-off, kind of, sort of the Manhattan Globe, which is a newspaper here at NYIT. We are NYIT students. If you guys don't know, NYIT is New York Institute of Technology.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Really?
New York Tech.
That's what that stands. That stands for something.
So that's us. We did this because once school starts, and maybe even soon, we're gonna get some people to come in, talk to us, hang with us, cry with us.
Mostly cry with us.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you didn't know, now you guys know. Just a little catch up. But now on to today's topic. What's today's
Should we shout out our
topic?
one-person audience today?
Oh, we got an audience, guys.
Shout out to SGA President Andreu Allen,
Yeah.
otherwise known as Dre. You know him. You
the
love
man,
him.
the myth, the legend.
Yes.
You will hear from him very soon.
Very soon.
Very soon.
Very shortly.
Anyways, like I was
Thanks, Jeff, for
saying-
coming.
Yes. Maybe I don't know. If people are watching on YouTube, then you can like peep your head and be like,
Want to say hello?
say hello.
Yeah,
All
just
right,
like
so
poke your
Dre
head in a
right
little
now
bit.
saying
Yeah, just say
hello.
hi.
Much love. Much
Okay.
love.
Yes.
Okay, so he said
That is
Man,
our.
that's-
That is our.
That's our guy right there.
our
That's
honorable
our
president.
That's my president.
Hashtag
Commander in
That's my
chief. That's my president.
Anyway,
Alrighty, so
today's topic.
presidents.
We
Definitely not.
Our favorite presidents.
we want to talk about further content, right?
Yes.
For
Plans for further
Our
content.
growing the brand.
So to get more views, obviously, because that's important.
For that revenue, baby.
And to get
No, we're not
people
monetized.
Yeah,
want-
no, we're not.
we are a non-for-profit.
Yes, we are. We
For the people.
want to start doing Meet the Crew on IGTV. So if you guys don't follow us on Instagram, we do we post when we're about to post on other platforms. And our Instagram, what is it? It's
Manhattan's Voice _pod.
Yes.
I repeat, Manhattan's Voice _pod.
I will have to edit that on screen, but
Yes, and it's
Ta-da.
fine.
I do that, but like it's like
Like,
never.
you don't-
you
Yeah,
don't
I think
do
it's
it.
hysterical. I think it makes it more
the
funny.
thing is, like
When we pop up our
I've,
hands.
I've learned a little bit of motion tracking, so if I really wanted to, I could motion track
One day.
the
One day.
title to your hand. But
When the budget ups up, we'll be good, baby.
we need some more crew for that.
All right.
We'll get to that.
We'll
hire out.
definitely
We'll hire out.
have more crew once school starts,
Yes.
and then once the people
will we?
are on the paper. Yeah,
We'll have underlings. Hell yeah.
yeah, we'll have people,
Get back to work.
managing our media and our maybe even topics.
Yeah,
sort of, kind of.
That's
We obviously have to
so-
approve
Get a
it
writing
before.
staff on.
So with the crew, I definitely want. I mean, this is relevant to people who are listening anyway, because some of them are going to be in the journalism class with us,
Mm-hmm.
and
Shout out to Jaffe.
they'll be there to help us out with whatever they can, whatever they feel comfortable with. So we're definitely looking for editors. If you want to do social media management with us, that's available. There's writers they're kind of
There's
writers.
gonna be a lot
like-
of stuff.
Yeah. So
People
I
can bring us
mean,
topics to talk about.
if you want to write, it's not really writing because we don't do scripted content,
Yeah, we
but
don't.
it's
So-
essentially kind of just picking out things that might be relevant to students or anyone who's in the NYC area.
Yeah. So
if you
that's
have a
perfect.
topic you'd like for us to discuss, please feel free to
Topic
let us know.
Yeah,
statements. If you want,
we're
your
open-
You
brand
want
to
to
be
hear our
out there.
thoughts? You want to pick our brains?
Yeah, we're very open to suggestions. We've
Yeah.
gotten a few DMs from some very kind students.
We have. Shout out to you guys. You know who you are.
We definitely appreciate messages like that because it helps us
Stepped on my
So you're
shoe.
my
maintain
zone,
our
dog.
maintain our flow, get
Mhm.
back into our zone with this podcast. So
Yeah,
we
so
really
definitely.
appreciate input. Like any and all input is very appreciated. Constructive criticism is very valued
But
here.
constructive criticism.
Constructive.
You know who you are.
Constructive. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. so
so
and then it's
crew-
like crew. Yeah.
And with the Meet the Crew videos, they'd be on IGTV because we're
Those are,
assuming that they'll
like-
be longer than
yeah.
a minute. And they'd just be like a reel of maybe 3-4 people like, hey, my name is yada yada. I do
Yeah.
I love
this
Yada Yada. He's
with
such a nice guy.
what
I-
I like, what I don't like,
Yeah.
blah blah blah, all this stuff. But
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
fine, and then we're gonna figure it out and
Scorpio
go with the
and I like
flow.
long walks
You
on
know,
the beach.
look, there's this quote that I moved it. Sorry, I
just
was
making my job harder.
I'm
That's fine.
sorry, but there was this quote from a book that my aunt was telling me about. It's like this really big quote, but the last couple words it says, "Don't go with the flow, be the flow." So don't go with the flow, be the flow. So
Sounds like a peeing joke.
Spell
I
I
I was
cup.
I see. I'm just kidding.
EYECUP.
Anyways, so yeah, so meeting the crew videos is definitely gonna be a thing. We'll probably have ours first up and like kind of more
Yeah.
a little more in depth, maybe. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
We'll get a fully feature-length film about our stories.
Yeah, 90 minutes.
So I
90
was
minutes or more.
born
Bo-
at 9:32 p.m.
The year was 1994.
The year was 2000. Jesus, were you born in 1994?
Yeah, Rangers won the Stanley Cup that year.
So you're 6 years older than me.
That's always been established many times.
Really?
Yeah, we've talked about this before.
Oh, okay, never mind. All right, the next thing on the list is to talk about the potential.
That was a nice little.
Yeah,
I like
rain
that.
over here.
I didn't want to cough into the mic, so I coughed on my shoulder. The potential live
Sacrifices we
podcast on campus. So
Yes.
definitely that is going to be a thing that we'll definitely
What was it?
do.
Potential
Don't
live
pay
podcast.
I didn't hear. I'm
attention.
sorry. Gosh.
But
Just
yeah,
in your
so
own head, huh?
potential live
No,
podcast
hopefully
on
not.
campus, and that's when probably like we'll have people like stop by and be like, "How are you? What are you
Yeah,
doing?"
we can make that an event to where
People can
we'll the plan, or at least in my head, is to get a more mobile audio interface, because if you can see this big board behind me, it's not coming out of this room.
Yeah.
Just put it in your
So we
pocket.
can get them. Yeah, I'll just fold it up. We want to get a more mobile audio interface. We can use the same mic, same equipment. We just need another audio interface and like a laptop that we can record to, and we'd be good. So
At Mac.
we'd be able to set up in the
Will
library.
you use a Mac?
It's fine. We'll be able to set up in the library
Heck
with
yeah, man.
this more mobile setup, and we can have people like an actual audience like sitting in front
Yeah,
of
that'd
us,
be
listening to what
awesome.
we're saying.
Like a
we
little
can give,
Dre, but multiplied by like 10.
yeah, like
and,
like 10 or 20 Dre's sitting in front of us.
We're to
And
clone you,
then-
Dre. We're to clone you.
And then we can give, like when we go
Like
over
a
our
panel.
topics. Yeah.
Kinda like a
yeah.
panel.
Essentially.
Dude, we're like Comic-Con, essentially.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then we'd be like, okay, so what's your question?
Yeah.
You go. And they're like,
and we can,
what's your favorite color? And
we can like give,
Periwinkle.
we can give time for each topic for them to like give their questions. And
yeah,
we can answer them.
yeah. And when we're talking about this, we're talking about, well, like not only like first discussing this, but like just so like our listeners like know about it, like what's to come, like what you guys think and what you guys might want. So we could post drinks for you guys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If you want.
We'll keep you guys posted.
If you want.
As we always do.
Yeah, that's right. I feel like we should post more on Instagram. But
Manhattan's Voice _ pod.
That's another thing. We can diversify content, but also we could use some more people for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, if you're interested in social media management, look forward to this year because obviously we can.
We coming for you. We coming and taking you.
So yeah.
And then definitely the potential live Q&A with the crew. So that's
yeah.
what we were
So
talking about.
just going live on Instagram is super easy.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, you went on live the other day,
I
right?
saw you, bro. I saw you. Playing
Go
your jazz,
follow
doing your
Julian.
thing, bro.
What's your thing again?
Wow, it's Julian.
Oh, you know.
Why are you guys
Nicole,
exposing me
Nick
like this?
Miranda, 28.
Yeah.
I see you, Ducks.
Why are you guys exposing? That was really
Dre, I don't remember yours. Yours is like cut up with
Andre,
periods.
you.
Like that.
I
Dre-
know it.
A-D.
There's like a period and then
That's what the periods throws me off.
there's something. What's two? There's two letters after.
I got
Well,
you.
I'll
I like how
find
you're
it.
playing charades. like you're-
Andre, you .R.A.
I won't remember that.
That's
but.
him.
Because
And
he
also,
mentioned
Senor
us in his
Contreras,
story.
by the way.
Yeah. Just plug everyone.
Ding ding.
But Nikki's
I'm trying
dying
not
over
to
there.
cough, but I'm coughing. I'm not even sick. I'm just choking on air.
But yeah, we would like to go live on Instagram and like
we should do that. We should do that soon.
we can do that soon.
Yeah.
Probably once Nikki isn't abandoning us.
I feel like we can do live while we're
what
even setting up too. Does people have any
happened.
things we want to talk about?
Yeah, but we don't want to let
Oh.
them too far in.
Gotcha.
You know,
Show
we don't
them-
want to
yeah.
we don't want to break the fourth
Not
wall
yet.
too
What's
much.
behind the curtain?
Exactly.
Gotcha.
We don't want them to see us setting up the camera and no.
All right. And then
We're too humble for that.
Yeah.
what is the best forum to get their feedback? Was I supposed to read that?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine. That's
Masterfully done.
so this was a question that I was having. I'd like you guys' input on this.
It's like a YouTuber.
I'm
a lot of you have been
trying-
asking me.
I'm trying to think of outside of Instagram what other ways that people would be comfortable submitting their input.
I mean,
Like
I
there's
guess,
Google there's Google Forms, but like not
Twitter,
everyone likes
Twitter
doing
could
surveys.
work.
I I don't know if we wanna branch off
we
to
do
do
have a
Twitter.
Twitter for the record. We do have a Twitter.
we do.
did you actually make a Twitter?
I did make a
Yeah,
Twitter.
like right in the beginning.
Literally,
like
like
when
Don't-
I hopped on all of our social media stuff so that way we can get the handles.
That's
as fast as
smart,
possible.
but don't go looking for that Twitter because there's probably nothing on it.
There is nothing on it.
Okay,
All
don't
I
go
have is a
looking for that.
picture and a banner, and that's literally it.
Okay, don't go looking for the Twitter because there's nothing on it. We could try to branch off into Twitter.
It's possible.
It just depends on what
who we have on board. What is it
like
it
what
just
kind
depends.
of content we'd be putting out. Like we can
Memes.
we can start retweeting memes. We can post like the clips we put on Instagram. We could throw those up on Twitter as well. But also, I feel like there needs to be some kind of value to people following us.
But
because-
definitely let us know what you think is.
But that's my thing.
Yeah.
Like
How?
outside of Instagram,
What? Shoot. Damn.
what kind of input? Like where do you think we can get more input? Outside of Instagram, like. I want to think of
like-
more interesting, intriguing
We have a
ways
decent-
of.
we do have a decent following on Instagram too. I'm sure.
Yeah,
recommended
we're doing
something.
well on
Shout out to
Instagram.
140 something last time I checked.
144.
Which shout out to y'all.
144.
I'm just trying to think of more interesting ways of interacting with
Facebook.
students. I don't.
No, we are
I
not.
have. I
I'm
have voiced
sorry.
this opinion
Alright.
before.
I will throw hands with you,
I do
David, if
not-
you say
I'm not gonna
Facebook.
make- I'm
I
not
do
gonna make
not
Facebook.
like Facebook as a platform. I think it's
Sketchy.
terrible.
Like I said before, man, Facebook is all just moms and people with too much political
Then
opinion.
why
Literally.
did
Yeah.
you bring that up?
Because people are on Facebook.
Oh, okay, sure.
It makes
let
sense.
us-
I don't
Facebook's a
use
mess.
Twitter, but Twitter could also work. But Facebook
Twitter.
can work.
Twitter.
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 I got a Twitter.
I have Twitter, but I don't use it. I'm kidding.
All right, guys. Nice. Cool.
Sorry.
But yeah, I mean, we can brainstorm on this more. If anyone has any input that they'd like to share, would be much appreciated. YouTube comments if you
Start a blog.
watch on YouTube. I do think, not for the podcast, but for the Instagram, we should do an email list.
Sure. Yeah, like at the email, like you put your public on business, and then you can literally put like email, call, text, or whatever. Not call or text.
What do you mean?
Like if well, on my account, like I have it as that I
No. I don't mean through Instagram.
Oh,
I mean,
then never mind.
I mean, just we should establish an email list from the newspaper, and the newspaper should have an email list, like a newsletter.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
Really
Yeah, that's fine.
And then we can probably weave the podcast into that, like a little section about like, hey, this is what's happening on this week's episode of the podcast.
Are we allowed to do that? Like advertise
we'll
our podcast in the paper every week?
It's part of the
Like,
paper.
that is technically
It's a part of the paper.
Also,
I feel like we don't want
the
to.
paper does not publish every week, and so it's like
No, but I'm saying a newsletter could be something that could go out weekly or bi-weekly
yeah,
because
we can do that.
it's easier to type something up than print it out. you know?
Yeah,
Start a
Long
Patreon.
Island wanted. I was like at a Superior Advisor. We had like this meeting one time, and like last week, and they were talking about that they have a newsletter. Like they're not sure. Well, the people who I spoke with, they're not sure if they have like a newspaper, but they have a magazine. I'm pretty sure.
Like an online, like a PDF magazine.
No, like
What are you talking about?
Old Westbury.
Oh.
But
Shut up,
doing a
LI.
newsletter, yeah, we'll figure that out. But that's good.
Could be in the works.
Yeah.
Stay tuned,
We
friends.
will continue to brainstorm on that. I definitely wanted to bring that up on the podcast so that if anyone has any ideas for us, they can let us know.
Yes.
And also just like voice it straight to you guys because we're talking to
Thanks
each
for
other.
keeping us in the loop.
Yeah, no problem.
Just having an on-camera discussion.
Yeah.
Basically, that was it.
Yeah.
What it was. Yeah. But it's fine. You guys, if you wanted to skip over it, you guys could have, or not. No.
Too late.
Too late.
Don't skip anything. Listen to the
Yeah.
entire podcast.
All right, guys. So
Oh, that's what you meant? Oh, yeah, dude. Listen to the whole thing. What?
Oh.
This is all
Yeah.
quality content.
It's okay.
Absolutely.
Alrighty, guys. So
Skip over
today,
it.
we are talking about
John
since
Wick
it,
2.
what? No, not John.
We'll save John Wick.
Yeah.
We'll save our Keanu's.
Keanu and John
Keanu's.
Wick for the end.
Yeah.
But today, a gloomy day after flights were canceled and people not knowing what to do.
Glad we're
Anyways.
keeping it positive today.
It's not gonna. Well, okay. So today's main topic is basically about the shootings that happened. Two shootings
in Dayton and El Paso.
that happened within 24 hours of each other.
Yeah, our prayers go out to you all and your families.
On that note, of course our condolences, our thoughts and prayers out to everyone who's been affected by this, but there have been a lot of people talking about how in the United States, I mean, the fact that this happens so much in the United States, it's time to move past thoughts and prayers
Yeah, this
and
problem isn't going
actually
away.
do something,
like
you know.
actions.
And we don't want to get too far into the political climate around that, but of course it's difficult to make those changes, but also they're just so necessary because
Of course.
we have the potential to save human lives. Like that's
Yeah, this
literally
problem isn't just going away by itself.
that's
Something
literally
has to
all it is. Like
step up.
we have the potential to save more lives than we currently are.
What's it called? I was reading on, I think it's called Vox.com. Yes.
Yeah.
That there has been over 250 mass shootings in the United
I think it's
States.
252 now.
Really?
I believe that's the number
All right.
as of this year.
Well, exactly. So there's literally only been 220 days in this year yet. We still have like 145 days left of 2019. So that's insane. That literally is so shocking, you know, all of these. And like they're not even, I think on the Vox.com, it's like the mass shooting is when it's over 4 people were injured.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
I think
So
that's a
like
statistic.
imagine how many more like has happened, like where, you know, someone got a gun and did that and like
But it's just so preventable there's so many measures that just haven't been attempted at all.
We have the weakest gun laws, like compared
Yeah.
to like
And
anyone and everyone.
the fact of the matter is, I think I was watching The Late Show, or it might have been The Late Show or Late Night with Seth Meyers, but they were showing statistics about how we have, I think
Let me see that.
half
Dre
of
is
half
gonna
of
show me something.
like half of the civilian firearms in like the planet are all in the United States or something like
I'm
that.
sorry, one more time.
Like half of all the civilian firearms in like on the planet are in the United States. It was something
can
like
believe
that.
That's disgusting.
But it's the fact that these firearms are so accessible, especially these high-powered rifles that you don't need to hunt a deer with, like
Like, why are we still hunting out here?
like you don't. The people like to hunt.
Population control.
It's a
Population
common
control is
yeah
a
yeah
thing you
yeah.
have to keep
It's
in mind.
it's
Yeah.
necessary and it's
For
a
sure,
common
yeah, no.
pastime in some other
For
states.
ecosystems, yes, some species
But-
have to be kept in check.
But you don't need a 120
Yeah, that's the
round
thing, yeah.
high powered
Assault rifle.
bump stock rifle to
in
kill
your
a deer.
closet.
You know.
Yeah. That's crazy. Wait, Dre gave me some statistics from the gunviolencearchive.org
Thank you.
from 2019. So it says total number of incidents 33,548. Number of deaths is 8,904. Number of injuries 17,612. The number of children ages 0 to 11 that were killed or injured is 397. Killed teenagers from 12 to 17 killed or injured is
And
1,000.
all of this is just the United States, correct?
Just the United States. 1,837.
It's
And there's been
ridiculous.
254 mass shootings.
And here's the thing, like it's insane some of the opinions I've seen. Like one thing that really upset me was I ended up seeing something that, do you guys know who Neil deGrasse Tyson is?
We do.
Yes.
I ended up seeing something that he tweeted out about this past weekend, the two shootings in El Paso and Dayton. It was this insane, like blatantly ignorant tweet about
Tyson.
yeah, it was something about
Do you want me to look
here's I have a screenshot of it actually, but he was saying how yeah, like we get all sad about shootings because they're a media spectacle, but also look at all of these statistics on, here it is. In the past 48 hours, the USA horrifically lost 34 people to mass shootings. On average, across any 48 hours, we also lose 500 to medical errors, 300 to flu, etc. He starts talking about other deaths due to like science stuff. And then at the very end of the tweet, he says, often our emotions respond more to spectacle than to data. This was within 48 hours of people being murdered and injured in public with no warning.
It's still up.
I don't know if it's still up. I hope he deleted it. I just managed to take a
Very
screenshot, but
insensitive.
it's
Very
insane that he had the mental, like
The audacity.
the audacity
balls.
to take out his phone, look up these statistics, and post this publicly to people after we're essentially mourning as a nation because this happened again. And it's sad that we're almost numb to this in a way, but
That's what I
for
was gonna
him
bring
to
up.
for him to go
It's desensitized
on the
man.
internet.
It's happened so many times.
So many,
which
like,
is awful to say, but like, yeah.
yeah, like I spoke to I forgot who it was, I think, but I was just like, did you hear about the shootings? And they're like, yeah, I heard. Like
That shouldn't be
I'm
a
just
normal
so
thing.
used to it. And I was just like, that's insane at the fact that like people pass
that
away.
should not be the
a
norm.
thing. Yeah, but it has been, like everything that like that's happened so far, everything, no one's shocked anymore. Like no one's like,
Well, think about it. If you look at like when Columbine happened, Columbine was a very big and very tragic part of our history. And but like now, like look at a shooting now. Like let's say like any school shooting recently compared to Columbine, like it's not.
Some of them literally. Some of them. The thing is, they're so common that we can't keep up with them.
We really
There's been
more shootings.
There have been
and
over-
more days in this year.
there
so
have been
that
over
really,
200 shootings, and most of them we don't hear about because we can't keep up with that happening on like a weekly basis. We can't we can't fathom that happening every week. And another problem that this is kind of a public issue because some people are just so deluded about this, but the whole Second Amendment thing about the
Bearing your
Right to bear
the
arms.
right to bear arms
Right,
and
that was
and
right.
the nation having a civilian militia at the ready in case of some kind of attack on our soil. The Bill of Rights was written over 200 years ago in an era where guns could not shoot more than one round at a time. And that round could not fire as far as we can shoot things today, or with as much power, or to be able to do as much damage as heavy rounds and assault rifles do today. The context that the Bill of Rights and the Second Amendment was written in is so far from the current reality that it's insane that that's an argument at all. And it's a shame. It's a shame that people are trying to defend like these changes to laws because they're afraid that people are going to take their guns and they're taking my rights away. They're taking my Second Amendment rights away. You have a weapon of war that can end people almost instantly, and you're trying to defend that in the context of something that was written generations ago. It's absolutely insane, and it's really upsetting, honestly. But it's time to act. I would say that right now, personally for me, I don't know about you guys, but this is a lot of people have been doing this to call on Congress to do something. This right now is me saying, I want Congress to do something. I want our laws to change. I want to stop seeing people slaughtered when they're in the supermarket or visiting family or having a great afternoon with their wife or kids or husband or relatives, whatever. I want it to stop. And it's insane. I don't want to be numb to this, you know?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It's like when I hear about it, and I'm gonna be honest, like everybody, like when you hear about it, it's not like, oh my god, you drop everything and you're like, because it's not something, not that it's not something personal, because in a different like aspect, it is personal because of the fact that like people are allowed to have guns.
Happened
and, like,
in your country.
and yeah, exactly.
Under your laws.
Exactly. So I'm like, it like sucks when I'm told this information and I'm just like, I still get like shocked, but not as shocked as we actually should be if like things happen like this. So it's I get speechless and I'm like, oh my god, like it's insane.
And just as an example to contrast us against other countries, when New Zealand unfortunately went through something similar a couple months ago, they changed their gun laws within the week.
Why are we so slow?
Within the week.
Why is like it's
Not an overnight thing, though. That's the thing.
Yeah,
For
but
this
But-
country especially.
but
There's
it's
always
not-
to
it's
be
not-
that
it-
side defending
it
it, with
hasn't been
everything they get.
it's not a new thing that like there's been so many mass shootings in like, you know, in the US. Like remember like in 2016, like there were so many statistics and stuff like that from like the shootings, and it's been a thing for a while. It isn't just like, oh, it just occurred. Like it happens. Like we
But
should
it shouldn't be.
think exactly. So definitely, I'm about to move to New Zealand.
It's nicer there.
Yeah.
Move to Colombia.
The U.S.
Is a mess.
Is a mess, and they are slacking.
Here's the thing. I don't want to dwell on this for too long because I know that this topic can be very anxiety inducing for some people. I know that personally it upsets me, but there's a great organization that was started, I believe, right after the Parkland shooting called March for Our Lives. I'm very, very like for their cause, just raising awareness for gun violence, the lack of gun regulation, the lack of changes to the laws for regulation. They do a lot of marches nationwide. They did a huge rally in DC,
I remember that.
right, like
last
weeks
year, right?
after the Parkland shooting. and they're still advocating for change. And I really believe in their cause. I'll make sure to link some of their resources in the description. But yeah, I wanted this to be spoken on because I think it's very important. I think it's important that we use our platform to state something like this, because it doesn't just affect the people who lost people or the people who were in the area or who were active duty or policemen, or it's not contained to those areas. It matters to all of us. So I wanted this to be spoken on. I think it's very important.
True.
But we can wrap that up there. I know that
Yeah.
that's a very rough topic to talk about, but I think it needed to be said.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And then thank you also, Dre, for all this wonderful
Yeah,
statistics.
thank you very much.
Thanks for you.
It's our numbers guy over there.
Yeah.
So, on a different now, what are we looking for the end of this week?
Hopefully the Jets winning.
Okay.
End of this week. What's happening?
Well, I hope to get on a plane.
I'm working this weekend. More work.
I meant to. Have you seen the new Tarantino movie yet?
I haven't.
I saw it too. I saw it 2 days ago.
I've missed so many movies.
Really
I haven't
good.
seen Far From Home.
Neither did I.
Oh.
Same.
What else did I not see? I haven't seen. Damn, I forgot. What else?
There's not much else that came out besides Once Upon a Time.
Oh, I want to see that movie.
Yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed it.
I've heard great
I
things
really
about
enjoyed
it. I heard the acting was phenomenal. Yeah.
Leo was great.
Yeah, Leo and
Leo.
Brad Pitt. Yeah.
Love that.
Brad Pitt was awesome.
Are you guys forgetting something to talk about?
Keanu.
It's funny.
I didn't think you were gonna remind us. Like I remembered, but I didn't think you wanted us.
I saw
to.
his
Yeah,
picture
I
on
literally
Vice.
wasn't. I was just like.
Yeah, the fact that she brought it up is.
Yeah, we're turning her.
I saw his
She's
picture on
changing.
Vice of like he was filming the new Bill and Ted, and he had like this weird,
Oh,
like
right,
this
they
crazy
are-
beard and like this mullet on,
They
like
are
wig.
They
bro.
are remaking that, right? Rebooting.
Not
it.
rebooting it, which
Yeah.
I don't. Have you ever seen those before?
Ted
No,
movies?
I've seen like the.
Bill and Ted
meme
1's good, but
clips.
for me, dude, Bill and Ted 2 is such an underrated movie, bro. That movie is
I
hysterical.
gotta go back and watch.
I got
those.
that for free with a Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut was just giving
Pizza
out
Hut
movies at a
gave you
certain.
Bill and
Yeah,
Ted?
they were no for some reason like they had this promotion where would give you a DVD to watch with the pizza you ordered at the time. But this is like 02, 01. Way back in the
Okay,
day.
Yeah, way back in the day, because I was
Yeah.
I
like
feel like I
one or
vaguely
two.
remember that. I was like 2 or 3 years old.
Yeah, bro, I
but-
still have that DVD, and that movie is great. I highly recommend
movie is
watching
it?
Bill and Ted 2's Bogus Adventure.
I gotta watch both of them.
No, Bogus Journey. Bogus Journey.
I want to see both of them.
Watch,
'cause,
yeah, dude. Watch it for sure because
Alright.
they're on Amazon, I think.
We giving some content to
They're
watch.
on Prime. Please sponsor
I'm
us,
not
Prime.
I'm not gonna pay Jeff Bezos. Are you crazy?
He's got enough, but
He's got enough.
I'm not gonna say
got enough.
pirate it. We would never break the law like
We
that.
would never.
We're good Americans.
Pirating movies? What?
R matey. You mean Pirates of the
Pirate
Caribbean?
movies,
Pirates
yeah.
of the Caribbean. You mean? Yeah.
What else is Keanu doing?
Wait, didn't you
Oh,
say
they're I think isn't this like the 20th anniversary of The Matrix? This month.
They're remaking that. You know.
They're doing screenings of it in I think in
I
IMAX.
love that movie, bro.
I
Matrix
might
1
go.
is in my
I
top
might go
10.
see that in theaters.
You see they're rebooting it?
They're making a fourth
Wachowskis,
one.
With
They're
the
make-
Wachowskis.
yeah,
I thought they're
yeah.
just restarting it. That's what I heard.
Really?
Yeah,
I
man.
thought they were making a fourth one.
They're just rebooting it, which is blasphemous in my opinion. The Matrix
It
is
depends.
such an
It
original
depends.
thing. You can't leave it alone, man. We gotta remake Citizen Kane next.
I don't know.
Godfather?
I don't know.
Matrix
depends.
is like such a staple for me that it's untouchable.
That's nice.
Have you seen the Matrix movies?
Probably when I was
watches-
younger, but
She watches lovey-dovey movies.
my
I
bad.
watch Love Actually.
Romances.
No.
Why? I hate you guys so
Under
much.
the Same moon. Something like that, right?
What?
What was that?
And,
Oh, my friend Sarah actually watched that movie.
Or her.
The same.
I'm just kidding.
She said
What was-
she
what was-
liked
She should
it.
watch The Matrix.
What was that romance movie Keanu was in?
On Netflix.
Yeah, what was it
Oh,
called?
it was like the latest one.
What was it called?
I don't
Backup
know,
Plan
but it
or
was
something
with
like that?
no. It was with the Asian
Candace Wong?
actress. She's a comedian also.
What was the-
Isn't he a comedian too?
Yeah. But I'm just forgetting the name of the movie.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The Lake House with Sandra Bullock.
No. I literally watched it not too long ago, but
Did
it
you
was
guys-
a funny movie.
did
I
you
heard it was
guys-
really good in that.
Did you guys know
You did really
that-
good in that.
I said I heard it was really good in that.
Keanu? Are you guys aware that he's married to Winona Ryder?
Technically, yeah. I've
Like,
heard about that.
He
It's easy to
Technically-
forget about that,
technically-
but they are
technically,
married.
Yeah.
But are they
Cause,
like
no, because
together?
they were married for the movie Dracula. It's like it's in Hungary, and for the scene their characters are getting married, but they brought in an actual Hungarian priest.
Yeah.
So technically, under the Hungarian church's eyes, they are technically married.
That's couple goals.
Always be my
dude,
baby.
what a
and
what a
Winona.
gorgeous couple.
Yeah.
My God.
Oh wait, it says always be my
Always
maybe.
Be My Maybe. That's
Yes.
what it was called.
And it's on Netflix. It's
like
says reunited after 15 years of famous chef Sasha and hometown musician Marcus feel the old sparks of attraction but struggle to adapt to each other's world. And that has Keanu.
It's hilarious because he plays
And
himself.
Al-
he plays
Ali
he plays like a
Wong.
weird
I did not know
like
that.
super like hippie version of himself in that movie. I saw like a little part of it. It's hilarious.
I haven't seen it, yeah.
Ali Wong.
There's so much
She's
thing on my
so
list.
funny.
Yeah.
I watched her comedy special when she was pregnant. I think when she was pregnant.
I didn't know she did a special while she was pregnant. That's
I
crazy.
feel
Yeah, that was a big
Wait.
special that time. That was pretty big. You should watch it. It's really good.
Yeah, wait. I'm pretty sure she was pregnant.
No, she was really pregnant in
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
leopard
Al-
skin
yeah,
dress
yes,
with like
yes,
red glasses.
yes. I
yeah.
watched it.
crazy.
It was
She was
Ali
so pregnant.
Wong,
She
hard
was so
rock
pregnant.
wife. She is funny.
For
I
sure.
like watch when like there's like comedy specials like on Netflix.
I gotta start watching.
What's
those
it as
more.
the guy from?
The only ones
because
I've-
that makes me want to be funny.
The only ones I've really seen are John Mulaney specials. I
I
love
John
John
Mulaney,
Mulaney.
bro. That guy's like my writing idol. He wrote for SNL. And
Oh, yeah.
great
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
comedian, bro. Great.
Kevin
He created
Hart.
Stefan on SNL. That was him
Did
and
he?
Bill Hader's bit.
Adam
He would literally,
Devine?
John Mulaney would write the stuff for Stefan, not show Bill Hader until he was performing it. I think
I
that's
watched-
genius.
I-
That's genius.
I watched Adam Devine, not Adam Levine. He literally made a joke about that in his comedy special. That
Adam Devine?
people probably came like to see Adam Levine, but it's Adam Devine.
Who's
He's
Adam
from
Adam Devine from Workaholics.
Divine. Oh shoot, Devine.
Is that how you say it? I don't know.
I think it's Devine. Adam Devine.
Devine. It says
Yeah,
Adam
from
Devine.
Workaholics,
Divine.
right? Yeah.
Best time of our lives.
I didn't know he
And
was a comedian though.
yeah, well, he just started actually.
Dude, they all branched out to really, really good things.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
Has Keanu been on SNL?
Probably, I would assume so.
He hasn't.
I mean, dude,
Dre,
Derek
Dre
Jeter
is
and
shaking
Peyton
his head
Manning.
no.
Trey said.
You sure?
Dre said
That definitely is not right. I'm gonna Google that.
no. Well,
I feel like I would have remembered.
He was probably in like the 90s or the 80s, bro.
probably.
Probably when like
Maybe.
Speed came out, he went on. Or
Maybe. Dre is.
Are you gonna give us the
currently searching.
statistics,
Yeah.
Dre?
remember that
No.
day?
He said-
Keanu has
he looked
not
at
yet
his-
been on SNL.
he-
SNL, what are you doing?
He looked at his phone and he said, "No."
Dude,
Get
Derek
Keanu
Jeter and Peyton
on
Manning.
SNL.
Dude, literally, Michael Phelps hosted SNL once.
What does it
when-
say?
Why has Keanu not been on?
Wait, give
They
us
had-
what they had.
They referenced him.
They
using
referenced
Tobey
him.
Maguire.
SNL, get it together, man.
Yeah,
what are you
true,
guys
true.
doing?
That's it? He's never been on?
What are you
Watch
guys?
Keanu Reeves sketches from SNL played by Tobey Maguire.
Oh,
That's
he did that for the
ridiculous.
SNL. I mean, the Jeopardy skit. It was really funny.
That's
I remember
ridiculous.
that.
Get Keanu on SNL
He
right
talked
now.
like this, man. You know?
Get him on SNL right
How about
now.
Keanu? Come on the podcast. We'd love to have you.
We'll. Keanu Reeves.
He lives in
This,
Please.
first of all, this
He
is the
lives in
longest
where?
Keanu's we've had
Brooklyn?
so far.
I
He
enjoy
lives
it.
in
Keanu.
Brooklyn.
I saw him on the train.
Keanu Reeves lives in Brooklyn.
What? Yeah, you didn't know that?
Have you ever?
People always see him on the
Excuse
subway.
me?
People see him on the
Yeah.
subway all the
I
time,
saw
man.
him on the subway once.
So
He
if you
was
ever
half-
see him in the subway,
That sounds biblical.
then tell him get on this podcast.
I need to move
These
to Brooklyn
two
right now.
lovely ladies
Can you?
want
Brooklyn's
you.
expensive.
Yeah.
Everything's expensive. Okay.
I'll live in Prospect Park and just wait for it.
Keanu's that you?
Love you.
I'll put up a sign that says waiting for Keanu Reeves.
Keanu,
And then
come-
once he shows up,
yeah,
I'll leave.
Come on the show. We'll talk about Matrix, John Wick, and Bill and Ted 3.
Yes.
Alrighty. So, I think that was
That wraps up
I
Keanu's.
think that wraps up Keanu's.
Keanu's and this whole episode.
Oh, really?
yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, because we didn't have anything else to talk
All
about.
good things must come to an end.
Yes,
Yeah.
and for this week's episode, it's coming to an end. Thank you, Dre, for being our lovely guest on our little
Dre.
show. He said yeah, and you'll see him very.
See, I thought he
soon.
lived in
Yeah,
California.
he moved really recently.
I
Probably
knew
for
it. I
filming
knew it.
Bill and
Because
Ted.
that's when he signed. Like when I talked last week about him like signing that,
I
that
hate you.
sign. That was in California. All right, Keanu's is done. We're
Okay,
done.
all right, and we're basically
And the
done.
podcast is ending.
We're done. Bye.
The end,
Okay.
period.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in to this week's episode 5, and stay tuned for the next episode because it's gonna be a little different.
It
For,
will be.
for updates, you can
Um,
follow us at @manhattan'svoice_pod.
If
And
you
you can,
have-
if you want, you can follow us on our private.
We don't need to plug ourselves again. Listen.
I
if
already
you
said
have
them, yeah. Follow
Oh,
us on
and then follow
Spotify,
us
follow us on SoundCloud, follow us on
Apple Music.
Apple
Music.
No,
Google
no,
Podcasts,
Apple
Podcast,
Podcast,
Google
Apple
Podcasts.
Yes.
If you have any input, right now the best way to reach us is through Instagram, DMs, comments, whatever.
Hey, dude, please feel free to message us
yeah,
whenever.
yeah.
We will. I guarantee we'll get back to you as soon
Yeah.
as possible.
We should actually add an email option to our Instagram just in
Sure.
case. We can add an email.
We're in a
button.
business now, baby.
Look, I told
Yeah.
you guys. and you were like,
That was smart. We can do
You're
that.
welcome.
I will get on that.
Okay.
But
Well-
if you have any input, send it through the Instagram. There should be an email button on there soon. And yeah, thank you guys.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Oh, now we're gonna tune out.
She just had to one up me on the outro. That's fine.
She got the last word.
No.
It's all good.
Anyways,
it's fine.
thanks guys for coming.
Yeah,
I guess
David.
now
can
I
wrap.
close,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
All
So
right,
David
guys. We'll
got the
catch you
last
next
word.
time. Keep on rocking in the free world, and I don't know.
Live
All right,
long and
bye,
prosper.
guys.
Live long and prosper. Okay, bye.
Yeah.